everyone, and my name is Irakuga, and today we're going to be talking about the new support that has been leaked, Psyduck. So, let's talk about Swift Swim. This is Psyduck's passive ability. When the Pokemon is damaged by an opposing Pokemon, its movement speed is increased for a short time. Okay, so this is similar to the Eevee's passive, where when they're damaged, they get a bit of movement speed. Well, at least one of the Eevees has one of these passives. I believe it was Sylveon, off the top of my head. But yeah, this is a pretty good passive if you're getting damaged in the early game and you want to get your stack and get out. This can help you get out of a fight or chase that 1 HP target. So the first part of this passive ability is very good. Second part, okay. This effect goes on cooldown after it's triggered. Well, standard thing with the passive is we don't know how long the internal cooldown is for the passive, but we'll figure that out once it comes out. When this Pokemon or nearby ally Pokemon take damage, the headache gauge increases. When the headache gauge is full, a mysterious power is triggered, shoving nearby opposing Pokemon. While the mysterious power is active, moves are boosted and their cooldowns are reduced. Okay. So, not bad. Overall, pretty decent. And here's the basic attacks. Attacks with a shot of water, really nice. So I'm assuming this is going to have some decent range and overall be pretty solid for securing farm. Confusion. This is the first move you learn at levels 1 to 3. So let's see what this does. Has the user release weak telekinetic force towards opposing Pokemon, dealing damage and leaving them unable to act. While the mysterious power is active, damage dealt to opposing Pokemon is increased. Okay, so this relates again to the headache org. You combine all this together, you hit them with the confusion, and you just dish out like lots of damage, similar to Mime. So I'm guessing rather than hitting them into a wall, you can hit them directly with this move and it'll stun them. This is overall, I'd say, a much better move than Mr. Mime's Confusion, because Mr. Mime's Confusion, you're required to hit them into a wall to stun them, but this just allows you to stun them for tagging them in this move. So I think this is going to be a good move for securing farm or just generally enabling your jungler to get a lot of picks and a lot of kills. So overall, this first move looks really amazing. I'm really happy though that they're going a different route with these supports, because generally when we get supports like Comfy, Clefable, Blissey. Now, I don't mind these supports. Well, with these supports and healing, it just breaks Pokemon. It makes them so hard to kill, it makes the games not fun. So I'm happy that they're going down this route of like a support that's a mixture of like an all-rounder. It can do a little bit of everything. And it's more so helping the team by CCing people or like slowing them or doing damage to them rather than just pocketing someone and making them immortal. So I think this is a good change in general to supports, and I think this is what I want to see with future supports. Okay, let's have a look at his other abilities. Tail Whip. Okay, so Tail Whip is the second move you'll get. As the user wag its tail, dealing damage, applying a slowing effect and decreasing the special defense of the designated opposing Pokemon. While the mysterious power is active, the opposing Pokemon's special defense is decreased by a greater amount. Again, related to the headache Gorg. I'm assuming when the Gorg is even more full, you'll do more effects. As it says here, you'll reduce the defense even more. So, pretty self-explanatory move, not too bad. 6.6 seconds cooldown. It's okay, I guess. It's decent. But yeah, let's have a look at what the move looks like. Okay, so this is what the move looks like. I think this is a sure hit move, but I'm not too sure. It generally looks like a sure hit move here, so I would assume this is going to be a sure hit move. You can also see that Psyduck has this like purple aura around him. I'm assuming this is like his mysterious power being active, or maybe even showing his like headache gauge. But yeah, that looks pretty cool, pretty nice. Let's have a look at his other abilities. Okay, so Bubble Beam is his level 5 move. As the user forcefully ejects a spray of bubbles, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon it hits and attaching 3 bubbles. When allied Pokemon deal damage to opposing Pokemon that have bubbles attached, a bubble bursts, dealing damage and applying a slow effect. While the mysterious power is active, the damage dealt when the bubbles is increased. Okay, so this is similar to Lepras's move, but rather than holding them there for a bit and leaving these bubbles out, this actually does something that's far better. It holds them there so that your team can tag them, and then when your team tags them, they'll deal even more damage and they'll apply a slow. I think this is really, really good. I think this move will be picked. Well, let's see what the upgrade does. The upgrade sounds interesting too. I mean, it's leaving them stunned when all the bubbles are like burst, so I think this is actually really good, because if you hit a whole team in a team fight and you have someone like a Venusaur that hits them with a solar beam, or anyone with some form of like AoE attack or a snipe, then this will complement them quite a bit. I think a lot of comps are going to be running these like AoE damage characters so they can get this team stun and potentially snowball or win a Ray fight. I think this is going to be really solid. Let's have a look at the other level 5 move. Okay, Surf. Has the user create a wave in the designated direction, dealing damage and applying a slow effect to opposing Pokemon it hits. If opposing Pokemon hit by this move already have a slowing effect applied, they are shoved. The user can ride the wave for a short time and use basic attacks and moves while moving. Ally Pokemon who touch the wave have their movement speed increase. This move is used again, the user stops in place and creates another wave. While the mysterious power is active, the user will create 2 waves. Okay, so good damage, good CC, overall very good move. I'd definitely be picking this move. The level 11 upgrade. Upgrade decreases the damage dealt by opposing Pokemon that are hit by this move. Overall, very good move, very solid move. Ariel, like, depending on what teams you're playing against or what's going on. So, looking at both these moves, I'm thinking Surf is looking pretty solid. Because Surf, you know, can stun people, can CC people, has good damage, and you can still use moves on it. So I think, depending on the scenario, you might pick Surf to try and get into those backlines and just do good damage to the mage, or just generally to make space. This move is going to be insane for making space. Bubble Beam. I think Bubble Beam will be very solid for checking bushes or just generally applying pressure. So looking at these moves, it's going to be down to scenarios. I personally think that Surf is going to be one of those moves that's going to be picked a little less due to its cooldown. I think Bubble Beam will get picked more due to its slow and extra damage it applies. So I definitely think Bubble Beam is going to be the first move that's going to be picked more. Having a look at the Bubble Beam, this is essentially what the Bubble Beam looks like. As you can see, the range is pretty decent. It looks like it's medium to long range, but still I think you have to be reasonably close for this move to tag. And again, as we see here, we see this purple aura around him again. This is, again, I'm assuming his passive. So pretty nice, pretty cool. Here's Surf. Now Surf looks insane. Like, look, this double wave, it covers so much range. This is going to be a crazy move for making space. Okay, his next move, his level 7 moves. Let's check out Psychic. Has the user release a strong telekinetic force in the designated area, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon it hits and leaving them unable to act. Your user continues to release a telekinetic force at the opposing Pokemon that took damage, closest to the center of the area of effect. This move is used again, the user pulls the opposing Pokemon receiving the telekinetic force in the designated direction. While the mysterious power is active, the user leaves the opposing Pokemon unable to act after pulling them. Upgrade decreases the special defense of opposing Pokemon hit by the telekinetic force. So this is just a way better move than Slowbro's telekinetic pull. This is just crazy good. Like, the fact that it just like makes them stunned is just nuts. That stun's gonna be crazy for winning team fights as well, but again, it's down to if you can hit this move or you can get within vicinity. Having a look at the move, the move looks like it's gonna be one of those aimed move. I don't think this is gonna be a sure hit move. This is a sure hit move though. It's gonna be pretty nuts. Okay, let's have a look at Disable. As the user release electricity that limits the designated opposing Pokemon's moves while dealing damage and leaving them unable to act. The electricity spreads to nearby Pokemon 5 times. The electricity can only spread to the same Pokemon up to 2 times. Opposing Pokemon hit by the electricity will have the cooldown of their last used move increased. If an opposing Pokemon has no moves on cooldown, the cooldown of the next move it uses will be increased. When an effect to increase a move cooldown is applied, a slowing effect is also applied. While the mysterious power is active, the number of times the electricity spreads will increase. Upgrade, increase the duration that the opposing Pokemon are left unable to act. Okay, this move is also very good. I think between Psychic and Disable, I think Disable is going to be picked more as a lower cooldown, and it can apply so many different effects. And I think increasing the cooldown of the enemy team's Pokemon's moves will make it so that team fights are much easier for you. Because imagine there's a Ceruledge on the other team, and he needs to use Phantom Force to escape. You reduce his cooldowns. Well, you don't reduce his cooldowns, but you put his cooldowns on a higher CD, meaning that he can't use his Phantom Force and potentially you kill him and then he doesn't get to escape either. This is going to be crazy for team fights, especially if the enemy team has a support that needs to heal at their team, but can't due to the cooldown being like a second longer. Especially Hooper. This is going to hurt Hooper a lot because having that extra cooldown on an already long cooldown move for Hooper is going to make those Hooper port players even harder to do. And also making it so that the Hooper player has to really play around his CDs even more. So overall, that's pretty crazy. Let's have a look at the Psychic move. Okay, so the Psychic move looks pretty good. I'm not sure what this marker is on the floor. I'm assuming this marker is telling you where you've picked them up from, so that you know where they're gonna fall when they drop. And also, obviously, you press the move again and you can pull them in your direction. So visually this looks nice, and I'm happy that there's indicators here so you know kind of where they'll drop if you don't pull them back. And it's also a good indicator for your team. Okay, let's have a look at the Unite move. Unite move, full power Psy. Well then, that's quite the mouthful of a move, isn't it? So this Unite move takes 134 seconds to farm. Okay, so it's a fairly reasonable ult to get back. You can definitely use this ult quite a lot. And obviously this unlocks at level 9. Okay, that's nice. Has the user release 3 mysterious psychic waves around itself, decreasing the damage dealt by opposing Pokemon it hits. After using this move, the user's headache gauge greatly increases as a consequence of it unleashing its full power. Okay, so this ult is going to be insanely good. This is going to be like allowing you to get that gauge up so you get those extra effects, meaning your moves are going to be like insane. Because imagine having a full bar, popping your Psychic or your Disable or your Surf or your Bubble Beam. You're just going to go crazy with this. You're going to get so many additional effects. You're going to win so many team fights. You're just going to be crazy, enabling so much shit. This is definitely going to be nuts. Okay, and in general, just in case, having a look at this Pokemon, it seems that he has 10% CD reduction, so not crazy in the terms of CDR, but also not too bad. He doesn't have any crit hit rate, so that means him hitting crits is like not going to be very common. Well, in fact, it's probably not going to be common at all because it's literally 0. He doesn't have any lifesteal, so that's interesting. No lifesteal on this Pokemon. And then looking at his other stats, his HP looks really good. I like that HP. That means he's going to be reasonably tanky. His attack stat is pretty good as well. Special attack looks high, so this is looking like something that's going to do decent damage and hit pretty hard. So overall, I think this Pokemon's really good. It also automatically starts off as a Psyduck too, which is insane. But yeah, if you're definitely looking for a support to buy it, this is definitely the support to pick up. We don't know what date this is going to be released because this is just a leak at the moment. If you liked my video, drop a like, subscribe and comment and share if you like this Pokemon or if you're going to be buying this Pokemon. Peace.